Okay everyone, so this is my new Rotimatic machine. So I did test it yesterday very quickly and this is going to be my second attempt. So at the moment, as you can see, it's switched off and it's really easy to use. So I'm just going to power it on. And as you can see, it's currently starting off. So it is a little bit noisy, but I guess you'll just get used to that noise. Okay. Now, this is the main screen and this is where most of, well, if not all of the instructions will go. Now this is the front door. This is where the rotis will be made and come out from. So you have to open the front door before you can do anything. Okay. Now over here, yesterday we'd already messed around with the setting levels and things like that. But the thickness basically means exactly how thick you want your chapatis to be. Now it's between 1 and 5. What we found, personal preference, was that the 5 tasted much better than the thickness of a 1. But again, you can mess around however much you want it, including the roast level as well. So you've got up to from 1 to 4. Now we like it on the second level. And you've got a choice of 2 buttons for the oil. So you can either have very little or just a little bit more. So we've set it on 2. Now, I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of every single setting because when you do order your own Rotimatic, you'll be able to do that. There's lots of videos from the help center, from the menu book. So this is just to show you how the machine works. So there's your menu. There's where the chapati comes out from. Now, this over here is your side door. If I just bring it a bit closer, this bit here, this little gadget here is where the dough is actually going to be made. So I'm just going to click it back in. Okay. And this is the vertical tray. They call it a VT. Okay. So I'm just going to close this back up again. Now, over here, as you can see, here are the 3 containers. So you got your flour, you got your water, and you've got your oil. Again, the Rotimatic manual book will give you more information as to how you can clean it. But what they have said is that these containers can be placed in the fridge if you're not going to be using your Rotimatic for about 4 days and it's quite hot inside your house or outside, you can put these in the fridge to keep the flour fresh. Right, so if we bring the phone back to the machine, okay, now I've set the chapatis for 4 at the moment because they were from yesterday, right? Here's your on off, your stop button. Here's your plus and minus, and there's your on off. So at the moment, I want 10 chapatis, okay? If I can get to the 10. Now my thickness level is already set to 5, if I can count correctly. And my roast level is set at 2 with my oil at 2 as well. Now we went and bought the Ashirad whole grain or whole wheat flour, which I thought was brown, but I don't think so. I'm not really sure because I'm not good at stuff like that. But you can actually put in whichever option you chose. So Ashirad, Pillsbury, whichever it is, you can put it in as is already set. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it, and my lovely son, who's volunteered to do the video, will go from this section here to show you how the chapatis work, and he'll go to this section here. But we won't be able to open the side door, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to actually see how the doorbell works inside there because it's quite dark. But we'll try and show you how much we can. So I'm just going to press start. Now, bear in mind, it is noisy, so you will have to live with that, or you can mute the video however you want to do it. So I'm just going to press start. I want to start making my chapatis. It's doing what it needs to do in terms of a final check. And then once it's done its final check, yesterday when we first switched it on, it took roughly 6 minutes to actually do its final check and that, so I don't know how long it's going to take to make. So what's actually happening is, if you bring the phone a bit closer, the machine is warming up. So it will take 6 minutes. So during the 6 minutes, we will pause the video. But what is happening is it's detecting the flour, the water, and the oil. And when it's warmed up and ready, it will start to use the ingredients and put it into this little container that I showed you earlier, and then it will do what it needs to do. So we're going to pause the video and we'll come back to you when the 6 minutes are over. Okay everyone, so welcome back to part 2 of the Rotimatic Machine review. So as you can see, the final check has now been done. So there it is, it says final check there. And if you can hear that noise, it's just checking the ingredients and doing what it needs to be done. So this is where the chapati gets made, heated out, whatever it needs to be done. It's inside that little compartment. Now I'm not sure if you can see, but there we go. So that's the little dough ball machine that I was showing you earlier on. You can see the machine do what it needs to do. I'm sorry if my hand is shaking and the video is shaking, but my back's breaking right now. So as you can see, it's now going from flour, water, oil into a little dough ball. The vertical tray is going up and down. Now I'm a little bit worried about this vertical tray because it's plastic. So I'm not really sure how long this plastic is going to last. But considering how expensive the machine is, I'm hoping it will last a lot longer than just a couple of days. Let's see. As you can see, the dough ball is getting made. Now one of the beauties of this machine that I like is that you can actually change the settings around whilst the chapatis are being made. And the settings that you then apply will be applied to the next chapati as opposed to the current chapati that's being made. So it's not a case of you having to wait for the whole batch of 10 or 15 or 5 before you can make the next one. Right? As you can see, there's the dough ball. And the machine is doing what it needs to be doing. It's quite exciting actually. There you go, it's pressed it down, made it completely round. We've got the thickness of 5, which is not that thick when you think about it, but it's nice enough. Now as you can see, it's now cooking it, which I'm hoping you'll be able to see that every chapati that will come out, I don't know how it's called in English, but when it blows up, I guess, I'm not really sure what it's called. There you go. As you can see, it's being cooked, pressed down. Now whilst that's being made, this one has started on the next dough ball, ready to be cooked. As you can see, that one's been cooked. And there we go. One little chapati coming out. Now, what I did find is our roast level at the moment is set on 2. So these little sides, I don't think are being cooked. But when we do the roast level to 3 or 4, then it's getting cooked a little bit more. It's just a little bit bigger than a puri. And ow, my hand is getting very hot. There you go. It's just a little bit bigger than a puri. But once I've been talking to you for a couple of seconds, the next one is already cooking. So you can see how quick it is. And also the screen here tells you how many chapatis have been made. So it's made my 1 out of 10. So it's now making the next one, which will come out in a couple of minutes. There you go, once that one's cooking, my dough ball there. The next one is getting ready. I'll bring it back here. The next one will come out. Okay, that's the next one. So we'll just pick that up. Woo, it's hot. And put it there. The hubby can have that one. So as you can see, they are quite tiny. You know, just a little bit bigger than a buri. But I guess when you're making your standard rolled ones at home, they'll be just a little bit bigger all around from there. Possibly somebody will have one, whereas instead of one you'll have two. Which when the machine's making it, you're not too fussed about how many is made. And there you go. So that's basically it. So I'm not going to bore you and keep the video on while all 10 chapatis are made. But once you've made all your chapatis and you're happy with it, and you switch it off, it will start to cool down. And yesterday we counted roughly 25 minutes for it to cool down. And then I had to wait to clean it. But it was actually quite easy cleaning it, so I'm not too worried about that. You can see. So that's where it's kneading it and doing everything it needs to. It's quite a good concept actually. 5 years I waited to be on the wait list for this little machine.